Hey, my name is James Nicholson. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to talk about inflation, why it's going to drop this week, how far is it going to drop, and more importantly, is it going to drop enough to cause interest rates to go down? Because as a property channel, that's exactly what we're hoping for, and we're hoping for some really good positive data this week. I'm going to go into how I know inflation is going to go down this week and how you can keep track of this kind of stuff as well. So before we jump into this, as always, if you haven't done already, do subscribe to the channel over there and hit the bell notification. We've got new content every single day. We're on the way to 24,000 subscribers now. I appreciate every single one that does subscribe to the channel. And while you're here, smash like, tickle like, do something to the like button over there. That really helps with the YouTube algorithm. It means you're just an all-round good person. So go and do that right now. So what is going on? Well, inflation data is out on Wednesday. We'll be doing a video on Wednesday pretty much as soon as that is out. So Wednesday's video will be earlier in the day for sure. And we know it's likely to drop off significantly this month. In fact, there's a chance it will get to 2%. That is possible. Now, the Bank of England are saying that the inflation data at the end of the year may start to rise again. So that could be something that holds back on interest rate drops. But why we know it's going to be dropping is because the inflation data is a rolling 12-month average. Now, last April's data, so on Wednesday, the data that comes out is going to be the April 2024 data. Well, the April 2023 data was high. That was actually one of the highest data. It was 1.2%. I believe. That was the highest inflation data for that rolling 12-month average. So that's going to drop off. Now, 1.2%, that was just in a month, that inflation data. And so that meant that at that point, inflation, if you'd carried on every month like that, you'd be at plus 14% inflation. So we know there's a big chunky inflation piece of data dropping off. And as long as that doesn't get replaced by something anywhere close to that, then we know we're going to have a big drop in the inflation data. The rest of the year, the rest of the 12-month average, there was a fairly high May data. So we also can predict that next month's inflation data is also going to be a pretty good drop. Now, we also know that costs are going down. So one of the things that's going to be included in this month's data is the gas and electric costs. So let's have a look at those because they are down considerably. Electric and gas are down minus circa 12% for a lot of people. So when the energy cap was at its highest, it was £2,500 on average for a property, and now it's down to £1,690, which is a big drop. And we also know that it's going to drop again in July. So that's positive, really, really positive stuff there. And we've got our bill at home. I don't massively get involved in the bills, but my partner Katie was saying that our energy costs, we were paying £300 a month on a direct debit. And now they've told us to reduce the direct debit to $220, which is a big drop. And we've got another one coming up in July, which is going to be good. So that is going to help a lot of people. So the inflation data last month, remember, this is the rolling average, was 3.2%. We don't know exactly where we're going to get to, but I bet you is 2 point something. And hopefully, maybe even a little lower than that. That's very, very important. And so what we can do is you can look at this kind of data and you can Google inflation data for certain months and have a look. What was it in April last year? What was it in May last year? Can you get the 12-month average? You can see some months we had lower inflation. Some months we had higher, but the April and the May data from 2023 that are in the 12-month rolling average at the moment are the two highest for sure. And April was the biggest by quite some. So that is going to be a big, big difference. Now, interest rates will then have to be looked at for sure. So the good news is we've got two inflation data points that are coming out. So we've got Wednesday's, and then we've got next month's before the next Bank of England data. So if we get close to 2%, then we have another drop off, because remember, the May data from 2023 will drop off next month's data. And we've got lower energy costs, so that's going to bring down costs significantly as well. That means that we should possibly be in the territory where they at least can consider a June rate cut. That's what we're looking at here, is potentially June could be the month. Now, what could cause problems for that? Two things: wages and the service industry. So wages have been going up annually now 6%. That is a little high. That the Bank of England has mentioned that they are a little concerned about that, because what could happen is people get higher wages, then they go out and pay more for products and services, and then we go in a vicious circle of costs going up. So that is potentially a difficult thing. So we want wages to flatten out a little bit. I understand myself, I feel that wages should go up a bit more than inflation for a period of time, because people have been hit so hard, and it allows them to just catch up. What's important to understand as well, even if we do get 2% inflation, it doesn't mean prices are going down at all. What it means is that prices are going up less quickly. That's very important to understand, right? So it isn't a case of any prices are going down. Electric and gas did, but most things are still going up, just less quickly than they were before. So where do you see this inflation data going to? Do you think that we could be anywhere near that magic 2%? Do you think that? Let me know in the comments below. We're going to be at 2 point something, but what do you think it's going to be? Do you think it's going to be 2.8, 2.9, 2.2, or 2%? Or if we got really lucky, it could go below that. That would be interesting, 1.9 or something like that. So let me know your thoughts and opinion. And where do you think the Bank of England will stand on this after that? Do you think that they will look to cut interest rates in June? I'd love to know your thoughts on that. And here's something to look at as well. What could happen is if we get really close to that 2% target in Wednesday's data, swap rates, which is the rate the banks borrow at, potentially could drop. If they start seeing really positive signs that the inflation is really at a point where we've caught up, we beat it, then at that point the swap rates could come down, because they'll be expecting the Bank of England to drop rates. And that means in the next few weeks, if all goes well, you could see some small drops with interest rates, with mortgage interest rates from lenders. We'll be covering all of that on the channel and more. Do let me know in the comments. Do smash like, do subscribe and hit the bell. Check out some more content on my channel, including this video right here.